Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Cynicalex, and today we are finally getting into it. Yes, we are going to be looking at all of the tier 2 characters. I'm going to be discussing my thoughts on which ones are good, which ones are terrible, which ones are great, which ones you should prioritize, which ones you should laugh with me together at how bad they are, etc, etc. Now, off the bat, before we start, guys, I do want to say thank you. This kind of video has been requested a lot since I started making these, and I'm so happy to see all of the enjoyment and all of the desire that you guys have to see what my thoughts are on this and to see where we can go with these ideas in the video. So I'm so happy that you guys have been being vocal with me about that kind of stuff. It's great, guys. Keep it up. One more thing, of course, with videos like these, it tends to draw up the salty dogs from underneath their bridges. So to all you salty bridge trolls, welcome. You will be disappointed. I will upset you when I say things that I think. And you will comment. And I will enjoy it. So, let's get into it, guys. So, Hyperion is the first character so that I can start off my kind of classification of tier 2 characters. In my mind, at least, there are 3 types of tier 2 characters. There are tier 2 characters that are bad and whose tier 2 makes them great. Okay, so picture a bad character, you tier 2 them, they're great. Okay, that's the best case scenario. Then you have the characters who are already good and whose tier 2 makes them better at what they already do, killing faster, being more immune to damage, etc. That's your level 2 tier 2 characters. You're kind of like B level guys. Then you have the characters who are just terrible. These characters didn't get anything from their tier 2. They're kind of, they're going to be in the shitty bin. They're going to be in the sin bin, in the penalty box until Netmarble does, some kind of wild change up. They just plain suck. They're garbage. They're fodder. And there's something that I can laugh about. So I really appreciate Netmarble for giving me that and giving us that to discuss together. So, for me, Hyperion falls in that tier 2, in that category, that second category of tier 2 characters. Hyperion's already great at tier 1. Why do you need to tier 2 him? Well, people would say, oh, well, he's even better. Okay, right, but I don't really need to overclock the highest, graphics card on the market. I'm not an asshole. I don't need something that's already the best to make it better than itself. And I think that's kind of the way to go, or the way to see Hyperion. He's already a monster. You're just making him more of a monster, but it doesn't help you do anything. It helps you just do the things you can already do with him, just slightly faster. So if you're an impatient asshole, yeah, get Hyperion. Moon Knight. Moon Knight is definitely in that first tier of characters who get their tier 2 passives. Now, Moon Knight's not a bad character. He is pretty good. His DPS is low, though, and besides his iframes, he doesn't have any way to really protect himself. His tier 2 changes that completely. His tier 2 is monstrous, okay? His tier 2 basically makes him a solo for Combat Alliance Day and a solo for most world bosses from not being that. So it makes the character hugely better than they were. So I'm very high on Moon Knight, and to be perfectly clear with you guys, I did use my tier 2 ticket that I got from the event on Moon Knight. I did it immediately without hesitation, and I'm happy I did so. And he's so fun to play. Okay? Oh, we have our first entry into the garbage tier of tier 2. Anybody telling you that this guy is like top DPS, he can clear world boss, he's like great, they're lying, and they're probably simultaneously wiping the baby tears from their computer when they're typing these long diatribes to you and me about how good Crossbones is. He's not. My tier 1, like, I don't know, Lincoln out DPS'd tier 2 Crossbones in co-op. It was fucking embarrassing. But there's a lot of those guys, so we're not going to dwell too much on it. Tier 2 Lash. And here we go, guys. One of the new ones. I'm super excited for this one. This one, okay, this is just like 6 hours old or whatever, so this is pure speculation. But this looks like the best tier 2 of the new list of 5. So between Ghost Rider, Red Hulk, Hulk, Lash, and Ultron, this is, I would say, just by eyeing it, by far the best one. It gives him immunity. It gives him a huge damage buff. And it's on a skill that doesn't have a very long cooldown, Disintegrate. Okay, and it decreases the enemy's defense. So just like there's so much synergy. You can't cancel the attacks. You can't do any kind of like cute chaining like you can with Agent 13 and Drax and Winter Soldier with the Captain America uniform. But still, everything I've heard, everything I've read, the few videos that I have watched about Lash with his tier 2, he becomes a viable character. So he's kind of like in between tier 1 and tier 2, or I guess level 1 and level 2 of the tier 2s. He's a garbage character without his tier 2, but he's a good, almost great character with his tier 2. So it gives him a massive bump in his usability, which I think makes it a good investment. Just overall, guys. There are just so many characters that can clear World Boss. You don't need to necessarily invest in a great character to just clear it more easily. It's better to take a bad character that you have developed and give them the tools to clear World Boss. Here we go. Next one, Wasp. Not enough. Still just a support character, and her tier 2 just doesn't make her good enough to be in that first level of tier 2 characters. She's still a good character made slightly better. So honestly, in my mind, not that worth it. Antman, definitely a level 1, top level tier 2 advancement. He goes from a bad character with low DPS and 1 iframe to a character that's invulnerable for 2/3 of the time. And yeah, I mean, his DPS is still low, but he's invulnerable for like 70% of the time you're playing him. That's just broken. That's insane. The stuff that he enables you to do is just amazing, and it definitely brings up an average character to definitely one of the best characters in his category. So definitely very high on Antman tier 2. Ronin tier 2. Why would anyone tier 2 Ronin? They have to be an idiot to do that. Obviously, his tier 2 is just for his leadership. So if you're going to be running him as a leader, then you can think about tier 2ing him. But still, guys, he's an okay character that's made slightly better by his tier 2. Definitely not a high priority at all unless you're a super fan and you're kind of a douche like me. Falcon, we skipped ahead, but I'll just talk about Falcon real quick. He just gets a immunity, but it's not enough because his DPS is still low. So it's just a good character that gets slightly better, but still not amazing, not game-changing. Okay, not very good. I would say level 2. Nebula, welcome to Crossbones level. Absolute garbage. This is dumpster level, guys. Yondu, your tier 2 is the effect that some characters' uniforms give. Dumpster level. Okay, this is a hate crime. This is actually like this is some war crime shit. This is some hate crime shit. That's fucked up. This one is worse than dumpster level, and it's embarrassing because this character kicked ass in Civil War. He was so badass, and this is so bad. No ass, and that's the most tragic thing of all. Moving on, guys. Star-Lord, same as a lot of the other ones. He gets a bump in his DPS, but it just doesn't make him any better than he was, and he was just an okay character. So making an okay character a little bit better, in my mind, is not worth the investment of tier 2. Now, I'm going to say the same thing about Iron Fist, okay? He's a great character that's made slightly better by his tier 2, but it doesn't change the character in a fundamental way. He's still the same character that relies on his uniform and the invincibility proc, coupled with a healing ISO set in order to do anything. If you don't have a healing ISO set and you don't have his uniform, good luck. Tier 2ing him is useless. You're not going to get enough out of it to justify the investment. So I would say he's a level 2 tier 2. He's like Hyperion. He's already a tank. You don't need to put another barrel on the tank. It already shoots out fucking rockets or missiles or bombs or whatever. I'm not a fucking wizard. I don't know how tanks work. Alright? Agent 13. Sharon fucking Carter. Wow, you get more damage. Yeah, she's a one-trick pony. She's good for speed AB. Her tier 2 doesn't change that. It doesn't make her more viable. Yeah, dumpster level. Oh, wow, Punisher, dumpster level. Who's next? Sorry, Winter Soldier. Oh my gosh, I can't click. Winter Soldier, dumpster level. 1%, 1 second of dodge ignore. Yeah, good luck with that. I might as well ignore your tier 2. Gives me 100% tier 2 ignore. Yeah, same thing with Vision. He gets some survivability, but it's not enough. His DPS is still too low. He has no way to heal himself. Dumpster level. War Machine, you get more damage, but you're dead. Dumpster level. Ah, okay, this is a little bit tragic here, guys. This orange part here is what really takes the piss. Okay? Activates one time when the conditions are met. Just one time, okay? Can I get your number? Can I have it? Can I have it? Okay? Effects remain for the duration of the battle and does not reactivate. So that invincibility for 2 seconds is the biggest invincibility tease of all time. Yeah, good luck, because you won't be invincible for the rest of the fight, and then you'll die. And then those other things like all speed 8% and physical attack 45% will be useless. They'll be all for naught. It basically turns him into a short-term nuke. As soon as this procs, you just tap all of your skills as fast as you can, and you pray that you do enough damage before he dies. You know, the only way that this tier 2 would work is if you had an absolutely amazing obelisk to give him. Okay, I'm talking like absolutely priceless. RNGesus fucking kissed that obelisk because it's so blessed. Okay, and the people who are telling you that tier 2 Red Skull is good, or tier 2 Red Hulk is good because of those obelisks, they can go fuck themselves. Okay, there's no way in hell an average player is going to find that obelisk or get it or roll it or anything. So this character is basically dumpster level tier 2. That thing's going to proc once and you're going to die. Mockingbird, good one-on-one, still not very good against anything else. Dumpster. Garbage level. Hawkeye, you can read it yourself because it's dumpster level. I don't go dumpster diving, guys. Wow, Drax, you can do some cute shit by chaining this attack, and you can still do no damage and get timed out by the 5-minute timer on World Boss. Dumpster level. Malekith, with the uniform, I will say, with the uniform, he's quite formidable. The only problem is that there are no big bosses in the game that are heroes for World Boss. They're all super villains, so the DPS is not applied at all. So, yeah, not very good. Not dumpster level, but just not very good. MODOK, dumpster level. Welcome. We were waiting for you, you big-headed fuck. Oh, hello. I wish this one was better than it is because summons are so cool, and especially Red Skulls are really cool. However, they suck. Okay? Everything I've read, all the videos I've seen, the summons die too fast because Red Skull defense is still too low, so the tier 2 investment is not worth it. I'm going to imagine the same thing for Ultron. It seems like the numbers are just not high enough. 15%, 10%. It's just not enough. His summons were already dying pretty quickly. They're just going to die a little bit more slowly, but it's still way too fast to do any kind of damage. They can do some cute things like block other players from doing damage in co-op, but if you tier 2 a character for that reason, you should go run into a knife or something. Gamora, yeah, dumpster level, but your skin's already green, so you're halfway to the dumpster. Here we go, Groot. Okay, obviously Groot has an amazing tier 2. My only problem with it is that the character still cannot solo things. You know, maybe he can solo a couple of world bosses under like peak conditions with like, you know, She-Hulk's leadership and stuff like that, but his DPS is still really low and all of his skills are awkward to use. They're slow and they root him down a lot of the time. I've played with Groot for a long time, so I know how the character handles. He's still very difficult to maneuver. He moves really slowly, so I'm not super high on this. Groot's already a great support character. I don't see the need for his tier 2, especially if you don't have a lot of tier 2s. If you do already have a lot of them, he's great because he just makes them even that much stronger. Like if you can field a team of like Iron Fist, Moon Knight, and Groot, like good luck. You're never going to kill those guys. They will live forever. You know, what's dead may never die, okay? Theon Greyjoy taught us that. But otherwise, I would say if it's your first tier 2, I would steer clear of Groot and I would go for someone who has more of an impact as a solo, to take Jason Derulo's line. I'm sorry, I'll never do that again. I'm really sorry. Okay, Spider-Man. Yeah, he gets some survivability, but it's not enough. His DPS is still low. He's like mid-tier, like level 2. Same thing with Black Widow, level 2, tier 2 character. Good. She was a good character. She gets slightly better, but there are better speed characters to tier 2 like Antman, because otherwise Antman's terrible, but with his tier 2, he's actually amazing. Rocket Raccoon. Yeah, dumpster. I mean, you're an animal. You should be already in the dumpster, bro. Raccoons are always digging for food. Come on. That's why we got locks on our garbage cans now. Oh, man. Ghost Rider. Yeah, I mean, the decreased damage received and the increased damage is good, but I'm almost 100% sure that all of his dots, all of his damage over time effects, do not apply to world bosses. So that means that on his 3-star skill Hellfire and his 6-star skill Penance there, all of that accumulated damage over time doesn't apply. So he loses a lot of DPS from that, guys. A big part of Ghost Rider's DPS is that damage, and he's losing it against world boss, which means he's probably not going to be very good as a tier 2 character. I could be proven wrong because this is like 6 hours old, but you know, my guess is that it's not going to be very good. It's not going to be very impactful. Iron Man, dumpster level. You get an increase in damage, but you're still going to die really fast. This is like on Black Panther tragic shit. So Hulk just dies in the comics, and then Marvel Future Fight decides to fucking kill him in their game too. This shit is over. I mean over. People who tier 2 Hulk, seriously, reconsider your lives. This tier 2 is not good. It's not good, and it's for 8 seconds with a 15-second cooldown, with a 45 chance to proc when you get hit. That's just awful. I don't care if he has all speed 25. What can I do with that? Run around? Run around to my death in a fucking hippie uniform. That's about all I can do. Run back to the 1960s, you green fuck. Alright, here we go. Captain America, the Liberty of Justice's Bell. Terrible. Dumpster level. Okay? Immune to all damages for 2 seconds. Wow. Dumpster. ShaRog. ShaRog to me is just like Hyperion. She's already a monster character, and you're just making a monster more of a monster. Do you graft a second chainsaw belt onto the first one because the first chainsaw isn't providing enough carnage and mayhem? No. You just buy a second chainsaw and you hold it in your other hand. If I could field the team with 2 ShaRogs, I would, but I can't. So I'm not going to tier 2 ShaRog anytime soon. It's just making a shotgun more violent, and it doesn't need to be sawed off. Okay? And then this one, guys, I'm really hoping to get your help on. I'm not really sure who this character is or what they're doing in the game. I didn't see them in the last update, so I'm not really sure when they came around. Maybe I had some kind of memory loss or something, but if anyone could help me out with this and let me know where this character comes from, what they mean to the game, where they fit in the lore, that would be really helpful because as far as I know, this is about the most embarrassing shit ever, so yeah. So there you guys have it. That's my list for tier 2 characters. You can see here that I've tier 2'd Moon Knight, Antman, and Ronin. So that's my take on it, and those are my thoughts, guys. And I'm more curious than that. I'm more curious to see what you guys have to say and hear what you guys think. So please hit me up in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you think I snubbed some characters or if I missed some characters who are actually quite good. And of course, guys, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.